because we have one more storyteller. Okay, she is also a person who says, I'm a poet. What can we do poetry? And with me, I'm like, yeah, let's blur that line. There's some magic. I didn't even know if she was going to be here. Like, that's how much I was like pausing for her. But last, I'm going to call her by her poet name because that's how she first introduced herself to me. So this is the last person, the last storyteller we have. But this is our beloved Alley Cat. Welcome her up, all the way up to the stage. Last but not least.
Yeah, I've been called like this stoic or poser or something. I don't know, some combination of story poet or something. Because I was struggling with this because there was actually two ideas that were competing in my brain. So, of course, what you do is you put them both together. The idea of retooling. It is known that people that are suffering certain conditions that our brains aren't wired or get rewired. In my case, I have a diagnosis of complex post-traumatic stress syndrome. And the brain has been rewired now that for people with PTSD, it's the bad things that we can't forget. They just come and just stick with us. And the good things just get pushed back. So when something bad happens, it just stays with us for a long time, lifetimes, years. And also the idea that I'm transgender. And so I retooled my life at one point. But not so much as a retool, but like taking a piece of furniture and stripping off a veneer that just wasn't right and seeing this beautiful piece of furniture underneath. And that's what I did. But during that time when I was retooling myself to be the person I knew I was supposed to be, I was sexually assaulted by someone who felt he had the privilege to know what I am. Happened one Halloween. He thought he was being cute. He walks up, grabs my groin and says, oh, I was just doing a check just like Mick Dundee did in Crocodile Dundee. And unfortunately, this happens enough that Urban Dictionary actually has an entry for what's called a Dundee test. And it's pretty crude. And it's like in saying, guys, you deserve to know whether that's a chick or a chick with a dick. And that's the Urban Dictionary. And they even proceed to give you the directions on how to do it. So after he did this, he then proceeded to spend the next year gaslighting me to friends, to places I go to frequently, and saying that I'm the problem, that I caused this, that I'm the one doing something wrong, making false accusations, to the point that this grows on its own life of its own, and people are saying things about me that I never did. I was sitting with friends one day, and they said, were you at the bar last night? I heard you did this. That's funny. I was home watching TV. But because it kept going and going and going, at one point I even got banned from that establishment for a week because there were complaints and people were uncomfortable with my presence, that I was behaving inappropriately. I confronted the owner. And his response was, you need to stop going around feeling up women. And I said, who said this? Give me a specific example. He couldn't give one. This establishment is still open. The current owner of it, who was a manager at the time, won't even look me in the eye now. Because he knows what he did. He knows that he thought it was okay to throw a trans person under the bus because someone was uncomfortable. But what this has done for me, completed layers and layers of trauma that sometimes I can't even get out of the house or go into that bar without having a major panic anxiety attack, thinking that someone's going to grab me, hurt me, or that I will be falsely accused of something I never did. So now I have to deal with this rewired, retooled brain that can only think of the bad, and is so hard to think of the good because somebody thought he deserved to know about me.